what we believe is an unidentified periscope in the entrance to Pearl Harbor. They went to investigate, found this unidentified periscope, fired on it. The first shots of America's involvement in World War II. Two young servicemen on a point called down to their commander and said, "We have a large flight of aircraft coming in from the United States." Indeed, just 250 miles north, the Akagi, Kaga, Hiryu, Soryu, Shokaku, and Suikoku have launched 238 aircraft of the Imperial Japanese First Fleet on America's island base at Pearl Harbor. The time, 7:55 in the morning. The place, the island of Oahu, in the Pacific Ocean. The date, December the 7th, 1941, and you are there. The Mitsubishi A6M0, the Nakajima B5N2K, and the Aichi D3A dive bomber. Admiral Shuichi Nagoma and the command of the First Fleet, laying 250 miles north. Admiral Yamamoto, the commander of the First Fleet, had ordered Minoru Gendo to put together a battle plan where they could invade Pearl Harbor and take America completely out of their intention of controlling the Pacific Theater early in 1941. The Nakajima B5NK, a specially designed torpedo between the whale wells. Over a year ago, Admiral Yamamoto had a weapon that would run shallow in the water at Pearl Harbor. It was only 50 foot deep. Just a month before the invasion, they successfully hit the torpedo. As the Nakajima B5NK comes back in, it lines up on the United States battleship, the Oklahoma. First one, then two, then three of these fish come into the water. They impact the side of the Oklahoma. It was a month, almost Christmas, before they got the last of the 400 men entombed inside the Oklahoma. High above, the Aichi D3A dive bomber, 250-pound bomb between the wheel wells. It lines up on the United States battleship Arizona. It rolls up on the starboard wing. It drops the bomb. It goes 10,000 feet to the foredeck of Arizona. It goes through the number 2 gun emplacement. First one, then two, then three decks into the forward magazine. That great ship exploded with such force. She burned for 3 days. 1,100 Americans went to a watery grave. They sleep there today. C-86M0, the fastest aircraft in the Pacific Theater.
Yeah, it is.
We managed to get a few P-40 Warhawks into the air. Lieutenant Ken Taylor and George Welch, between the two of them, managed to shoot down 7 of the invading forces on that December the 7th morning, 1941. For over 2.5 hours it continued. The second wave came, 183 aircraft. They continued. Haleiwa, Marine Corps Air Station Iwa, Hickam, Bellows. There was a young serviceman in Hickam walking the line. He said, "Ken, the only thing I had was a 45 caliber pistol on my side. They were coming at me so close I could see the whites of their eyes. And all I had was a 45 caliber pistol to shoot them down with." Out on the ships of America's Pacific Fleet and under the command of Admiral Husband Kimmel, they were trying to get Springfields, and they were trying to get M1s, and they were trying to get their anti-aircraft guns up and firing. They finally realized America sounds of war. Feel the concussion of the bomb as it shakes the feet. United States battleship Nevada, heading for the opening out into the Pacific. The skipper was the only one that had his team up. He knew he had to clear the harbor, or he'd be sunk just like the Oklahoma and the Arizona. He starts for the opening. The Japanese are on him like flies on a honeypot. He knows he can't get out. He beaches that great ship at Hospital Point to keep it from being sunk in the opening end of the Pacific out of Pearl Harbor, knowing that nothing else would get out to protect our aircraft carriers which were in the Pacific. For over 2.5 hours it continued. And Admiral Goma made a grievous error. He didn't send the third wave in. He recovered all of his airplanes. Listen to our President, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, as he goes to Congress the next morning.
1941. A date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands caused severe damage to American naval and military forces. I regret to tell you that many American lives have been lost. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph, so help us God.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that America did gain that inevitable triumph. Yes, it was 4 long years later. As we listen to the great Kate Smith, we're reminded of what Admiral Yamamoto said to his people as they went down. He said, I fear we have done nothing more than to awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with a great resolve. Ladies and gentlemen, that sleeping giant was the heart and soul of America. It was the American people. Rosie became a riveter. She started building airplanes and ships and guns and tanks and all of the things that our young men and women would have to fight against the Axis powers who would take our freedoms away from us. America started saving wool and rubber and gasoline and aluminum and tin, all of the things necessary to go in to build the B-17s and build the P-51s and all of the things that our troops needed. It's true what we do here today. If America never becomes involved in war again, it'll be too soon. But whether it's World War I, or II, or Korea, or Vietnam, or Panama, or the Persian Gulf, and yes, now Afghanistan. 140 men are leaving this base in the morning, going on their way to Afghanistan. It is the young men and women, listen to me, it's the young men and women of this nation that wear the uniform of this great nation and fly the flag of this great nation that allow us to be the greatest free nation in the world. Do you believe that, Little Rock, Arkansas?